Hey guys, this is Adam from Dodjit.com and this is your video briefing for the 7th of October 2009. Now basically it happened as we called it. The chart came down to the 50-day moving average as we can see here, and during Monday and Tuesday sessions basically the chart just bounced higher. Now what I want to show you is like this, and we stated this on our chart analysis page. We are now stuck between the 50-day moving average and trendline resistance. Now these trend lines will sometimes turn from support, like we saw here, one and another one, two here, will turn into a resistance level. So we're going to have to keep a close eye out on this. We've also got this minor trend line coming down roughly around here. So basically we're stuck at the moment. We're stuck between the 1025 level and the 1050 level. We're going to just have to see how it plays out. Today Alcoa is coming out with its reports, and this is going to be probably a major mover. I think most of market participants, I'm talking about stock market participants, they're looking towards Alcoa as to see whether companies have been holding up, if they've got any profits, how the third quarter has been. That's what people are looking at the moment. And obviously, if large caps are going to come out with nice reports, if they're going to release statements mentioning that they do expect their profits to grow in the fourth quarter or maybe in the first quarter of 2010, then we should receive some boost around this area, and the indices probably will continue higher. Again, we have now broken this trend line going lower, so you have to be careful around this area because could lead either into a false break or we're going to just drop lower. At the moment we've got support around the 50-day moving average. Let's see how it plays out. For those of you who aren't in any positions at the moment, I would just wait, see how this plays out, and obviously if we're going to head higher, we're going to break our previous high, so then this will confirm that we are continuing the trend higher. Now the next chart that I flipped over to is a gold chart, and this is absolutely amazing. We received such a rally yesterday and it was absolutely amazing. It just broke the 1000, climbed higher already on Monday. Tuesday just followed through, broke its prior high, continued higher and smashed through the 1030 level and closed I think roughly around 1037, something like that. We are now under the 1050 mark. There are some analysts out there that are calling for a correction to the 950, 970 area. I don't at the moment just see that happening. And at the moment what I'm doing, I'm just looking at the trend lines just to see where the chart is heading. So what I'm going to do is just plot this trend line roughly around here. We can see that we are now at the top of our upper trend line, going higher since July. Now we've got this trend line, this lower trend line. We can see that what I've done is basically I've just channeled the whole of our current trend from July. We can see that if we do start to retrace, and I'm looking for a small retracement, I'm not saying that I'm not looking for a retracement at all. I don't think we're going to head down to the 950 area. I just don't see that happening at the moment unless we break this trend line going lower. But if we are going to start to retrace, so then we've got our prior high to retrace to, and we can see here that together with our prior resistance level and our prior support level, which is our trend line, we receive double support. So this is going to be a nice area. If the chart does come down to this area, to the 1020 area, this might be a nice area to pick it up to head higher. Now, I just want to go over two more charts. I'm going to go over the euro against the US dollar and the Australian dollar against the US dollar. And the reason for this is because we did mention these two trend lines. We've got one coming up like this. We received a bounce around this area. We broke our minor trend going down, climbed higher. We are now climbing higher, but the chart is starting to show us a little bit of weakness. So I want you to take this into consideration. If you have got positions on this trade at the moment, obviously you want to move your stop to your entry price. You want to play on the market's money. You don't want to risk your capital. And another thing is, the reason I'm talking about weakness is because today we're receiving a negative day. Also the stock markets, the indices, they aren't following through. And also, if you recall, the indices are now at critical levels, above support of the 50-day moving average, below trend line resistance. So I want to see how stocks are going to play out, because obviously if stocks are going to play out, if they're going to continue higher, so then this is also going to continue higher. If not, we could be looking at a range roughly around a 400 pip range. Take that into consideration. The final chart is the Australian dollar against the US dollar. This is also a daily chart. You can see it here. Now, again, similar to the euro against the US dollar, we bounced off of trendline support. We continued high. We are just making new highs on this every other day. And if you look carefully, what I want to do, I'm going to just also put our upper trend line. And I want to show you, we are now coming close to our upper trend line. So basically what I'm thinking is, obviously, if the stock indices are going to start to correct, the euro against the US dollar is going to start to correct. This is obviously also going to correct. Keep an eye out on this. This hasn't really got a nice trend about it because we received a lot of mess around this area and then we just bounced higher. So it's a little bit harder to trade this than the euro against the US dollar. Take into consideration though, we are at critical levels on all the major indices. So if they do start to correct, this is probably going to head lower to test trendline support again. If not, we've got our resistance level, the upper trend line. Hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Adam from Dodjit.com.